From Citi Field in New York, the New York Mets take on the St. Louis Cardinals in the back end of a doubleheader. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by Citi. For each home run at Citi Field, Citi will donate $2,000 to No Kid Hungry. By Geico, switch today and see all the ways you could save. By Spectrum, switch and save with Spectrum Mobile. Nationwide 5G included, restrictions apply. Visit SpectrumMobile.com. And by Toyota, the summer starts here at Toyota. Toyota, let's go places. And with that, we welcome you back live inside Citi Field. I'm Steve Gelbs. Wayne, Keith, and Ron will be by in just a little bit for Game 2. The Mets winning Game 1 of this doubleheader earlier this afternoon, 3-1, continuing their dominance in doubleheaders this season, 6-1 overall so far, and dating back through last season, now 18 consecutive doubleheaders where the Mets have avoided being swept. More important than any of that, though, they continue to avoid losing streaks this season. 12 consecutive wins following a loss, now 12-1 in those situations this year. They will try and get their third doubleheader sweep of the season, led by Taijuan Walker on the mound. Taijuan, been a bit of an up and down season so far. Injuries have prevented him from really catching any sort of consistency, but last start, his best start of the year, 7 innings, 3 hits, no runs on Thursday against the Nationals. And he will be opposed by former Met Steven Matz. Second time this season the Mets are seeing Matz. He's hoping for a better outing than the first time on April 27th. Mets chasing Steven after just 4 innings. And if he wants a really great memory to fall back on, it's almost 7 years ago. Can you believe it that Steven Matz made his debut, an impressive debut, memorable one here at Citi Field for the Mets. 7 2/3, 2 runs, 6 Ks, but of course, it's the hitting that Matz will be remembered for. 3 hits against the Cincinnati Reds on that day. And of course, the image that everyone will remember, Grandpa Bert, who unfortunately the Matz family lost earlier this month. And here he is, getting loose back at Citi Field. Steven Matz, an up and down year for him as well, but coming off a good start in his last outing for the St. Louis Cardinals. When we come back, it is a beautiful day for a ball game in the Empire State. Wayne, Keith, Ron, they're coming up next.
From the gateway to the west.
And the Mets feeling good after a Game 1 victory against the St. Louis Cardinals today. Hugs all around for this first place ball club, as the Mets are now 24-13 after beating the Cardinals earlier today 3-1. I see Taijuan Walker on the mound in Game 2. With Keith Hernandez and Ron Darling, I'm Wayne Randazzo. Gary Cohen is off today as he deals with a family medical issue. But guys, very good start for the Mets to this doubleheader, a 3-1 win. We saw the Mets strike out 13 Cardinals in that first game.
It always seems to be whatever button that Buck presses. They call up these guys. Reed comes up, 2 scoreless innings, gets the win. The little guys that are plugged in do the job, and the everyday players continue to perform.
You know, in every championship team, to speak about what Keith is speaking about, every championship team has the same thing, and that is everyone contributes from the 26-man roster. You see it happen all the time, and the first game was an example of that.
Cardinals lineup presented by Hyundai, as St. Louis will give Nolan Arenado the night off in Game 2. Brendan Donovan is starting at third base. We will see Edmundo Sosa play short, and Andrew Kisner behind the plate instead of Yadier Molina in the second game against Taijuan Walker.
Walker's one of his best starts was his last against the Nats. 7 scoreless innings. He has not struck out a lot of batters this year. Pitching to contact, those is Toyota numbers. But since coming off the IL, his last game against the Nats was his best.
And your Metropolitan Lexus defense, Nito Goods behind the dish. Escobar, McNeil, Alonso, Lindor, they're all playing 2, but in different positions except for Lindor and Alonso. Alonso was DHing, now he's at first. In the outfield, Canna gets the start. Jankowski, 2 starts at a doubleheader in right field.
Does Alonso speak to Stubby Clapp? Does he shake hands with Stubby Clapp? Does he tackle Stubby Clapp? He just gave the fist pound. Little fist bump. Okay.
Well, there you go. Round 2 was a dud.
We live in such a kinder world now. It's so great.
Didn't George Herbert Walker Bush say a long time ago that we were going to be a kinder, gentler nation?
He was right.
I think that's been every president since 1957.
Well, all's well that ends well, and Taijuan Walker facing Tommy Edman to start the game. First pitch, ball 1 to Edman. Walker behind 2-0 to start things off tonight. Now 2-0, just a soft bouncer, and Jeff McNeil handles it. Tommy Edman hustling, but thrown out to start the ball game.
I'm all for these 650 starts if we want to start breaking them in the rotary here.
Anything before 7 is fine with me.
Some teams have gone to 640 starts, 645 we've seen. I think St. Louis is doing that. So they're out there. 6:51 first pitch in this game. Brendan Donovan playing third instead of Arenado. And that's an automatic gift after you win the first game. Well, now you don't have to face Arenado in game 2.
Taijuan Walker always has good kicks. I mean, his spikes are always, look at those.
Well, this is a fashion expert, Taijuan
Yes,
Walker. He was giving Gelbs fashion tips the other day. Good pitch there by Taijuan Walker. He strikes out Brendan Donovan. First strikeout of the game for Taijuan.
Well, this is his most important pitch. If he has this working, he's always going to have a good game. Split, fingers right on the seams, pulls down, and straight down does that pitch go. He's got enough on his fastball at 92 plus to make that so effective.
Paul Goldschmidt takes a strike on a fastball, but by using that splitter the way that he is and using it so effectively, he's throwing his fastball less.
Well, he's getting it in the zone. He's able to throw it for a strike. Very few pitchers can do both. Throw it for a strike and also throw it out of the strike zone for a strikeout.
Walker striking out Brendan Donovan. It's a roller here off the bat of Goldschmidt, but nobody's on the right side of the infield, so Paul Goldschmidt will take his 2-out hit. It's the first hit for St. Louis here in game 2. Goldschmidt homered in the first game.
Homer extended his 9-game hit streak, and now he's got a 10-game hit streak working.
Well, that's just a ball away. Right side of the infield wide open. 100 years straight or a little less maybe. That was a 4-3 on your scorecard.
So instead of Arenado behind Goldschmidt, it's Dylan Carlson. Just the second time Arenado has not been in the lineup this year, and the first time out of necessity had to be out of the lineup because he was suspended for his role in that little brawl against the Mets. Carlson pops this one up, but it's out of play.
So it's interesting, without Arenado in the lineup, Goldschmidt goes from second to third in the batting order. Well, both this young Carlson and young O'Neill have gotten off to tough starts, but boy, you have to like their future.
Carlson was a Rookie of the Year candidate last year. Lifts this ball toward right center. Travis Jankowski there to put it away, and Taijuan Walker works around a 2-out base hit. A scoreless top of the first. The lefty Steven Matz. Eduardo Escobar hitting 5th. Jeff McNeil down to the 6th spot. Travis Jankowski in there for a second straight game in right field with Starling Marte out. And there he is, the Long Island lefty, Steven Matz.
Yeah, he's gotten off to a slow start with a 6.40 ERA, but coming out an outstanding season last year for the Blue Jays, where he went 14-7. One of the things he hasn't been able to do is Nimmo doffs his helmet to Matz is keep the ball in the ballpark. 5 home runs in his last 2 starts.
Facing his former teammate Brandon Nimmo to start the game. And a strike to Nimmo, who had his 11-game hitting streak come to an end with an 0 for 4 in game 1. So the number is Brandon against lefties. The Mets have been one of the better teams this year, left on left. Mets are hitting 45 points above league average in these left on left situations. It's the right-handers who have not done as well against lefties for the Mets than the left-handers have. Canna, right-hander on deck. Second time for Matz pitching here as a visitor. Any sort of butterflies or anything like that carry over, or does that go away with the first one?
I think it goes away with the first one. The butterflies for him right now is that when he looks up at his ERA and at 6.40, the butterflies are, hey, listen, I signed to a nice contract here for the Cardinals. They deserve better, and he wants to pitch better.
He was thrilled to sign with St. Louis. A little dalliance with the Mets, too.
Depending on who you ask, how much the dalliance was.
Well, it certainly ignited the Mets offseason from there. They ran wild signing players after Steven Matz ended up with the Cardinals.
Yeah, well, it didn't work with Matz, so you end up with Max. Not too bad.
Max Scherzer, then they traded for Chris Bassett after the lockout. Mo pops one out foul, and he's working along at bat against Steven Matz to start this game.
The wind has picked up a little in this game. You can see it in the pant legs of Matz while he's on the mound. There's Max. One thing about being a starting pitcher, you watch a lot of baseball.
Full count on Brandon Nimmo.
So another long at bat by Met hitters, making opposing pitchers work.
Nimmo jammed as he pops it up. Donovan, the third baseman, in fair territory, makes the catch. There's one out.
And your Cardinal defense, look at this. Chevrolet.com is Chevy Cardinal defense on the infield. Andrew Kisner behind the plate. Molina gets a rest. You got the scooper over at first, four-time Gold Glove winner Paul Goldschmidt. And out in the outfield, you got two Gold Glovers.
Remember, you were always served ice cream by a guy in a cap like that?
Yes.
The Fez-looking cap.
I used to listen for the music when the truck would come by and you go flying for that. Try to find it. Where is it?
Marcano looks at a strike. I'll tell you, if Goldschmidt scooped ice cream for a living, he would work hard to be the best ice cream scooper in the world. That's how he is.
That's right. Problem is, you get so excited, you run into your mother. Mom, ice cream truck's here. And occasionally she'd shoot you down. Not today. Like, oh, come on.
Matz gets ahead of Marcano 1-2. Canna calls himself a foodie, but for a guy in his condition, I'm not sure he gets the dessert. Steven Matz, a guy in pretty good shape himself. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Canna. Looking at Canna's numbers, kind of what I meant before. Canna's at .344 against right-handers this year, but about half of that against lefties.
Interesting, Ron, I just noticed that you don't see it very often, is Steven Matz's glove. He's got his index finger exposed.
Yeah.
Most pitchers have that cover it up because they might point and tip.
Yeah, they don't want to wiggle it.
You see the exposed index finger?
A tell could be if you move that finger on a certain pitch. My first spring training game in 1982 for the Texas Rangers, pitched a couple innings, whatever. Came out of the game. It was a good outing. And sat down next to Don Zimmer. He said, "Hey, come here, kid." And I thought he was going to tell me how good I was. He said, "You got to cover up a finger or put it in the glove, because every time you throw a curveball, you wiggle it."
Canna laid off, full count, 3-2.
So if you're right-handed and you're watching this at bat, maybe Matz gives you a peek into what you're going to face on a 3-2. What does he like to feature on a 3-2 count?
Canna with a drive that's deep to left. O'Neill back for it. It's gone. Mark Canna puts the Mets on top with a home run off Steven Matz. That's the 6th homer Matz has allowed in his last 3 starts. And Canna rises the apple to give the Mets the early lead.
Keith, he had the same pitch earlier in the at-bat and just missed it, but he had a good swing.
Bash brother action there.
I always felt we see him bring his hands in to get that barrel through. Steven can get happy inside to right-hand hitters.
Lindor looks at a strike. 3rd homer for Canna this year.
Extra base hits are coming for Canna now after all those singles.
He had some stomach issues early on. It's felt like that zapped his power a little. Bouncer that Donovan handles with a backhand.
Nice.
Goldschmidt holds the bag at first to retire Francisco Lindor.
Nice play. And I mentioned watch his hands come in to get the barrel through. See, he rushed his hands through to get that barrel.
Almost like they take that knob right to their belly button to keep those hands inside of it.
That Mets home run means City will donate $2,000 to No Kid Hungry to help fight childhood hunger. Now more than ever, kids across America need our help. Home run by Mark Canna.
Mets just keep scoring early in ball games. That is a big plus as well.
The Mets typically win when they score first. The Cardinals typically lose when they fall behind. Alonso with a fly toward right. The Cardinals just 2-10 in games where they don't score first, and they did not score first tonight. Mark Canna took Steven Matz deep, and it's 1-0 Mets after 1. First pitch, Corey Dickerson looks at a strike. Dickerson off to a slow start this year.
Boy, he's well traveled.
He's played the Mets a lot. He's been in the National League East some with the Phillies and the Marlins. Download the MLB app to get in-game video highlights, live pitch-by-pitch, breaking news, player updates, stat leaderboards, and more for your New York Mets. Mets with a 1-0 lead on Mark Canna's home run. 6th time in the last 7 games the Mets have scored in the first inning. They did not score in game 1 of the doubleheader in the first inning. Then they scored 1 in the second and 2 in the third. So early runs often lately for this team. Dickerson swings and misses for strike 3. Strikeout number 2 for Taijuan Walker.
Already best his outing of against the Nats in his last start when he only struck out 1, walked 1.
Today's City Community Home Runs fan of the game is Helen from Old Bethpage, New York. Go to SNY.TV/CHR to enter. Good luck to Helen.
Nancy couldn't play 2 today. Nancy was our game 1.
On to Helen. Curveball strike to O'Neill, 0-1. The most strikeouts Walker's had in a start this year is 4. His first start in which he only pitched 2 innings. He's ahead of O'Neill 0-2, so he has not struck out more than 2 hitters in each of his last 3 starts. He's got 2 already tonight.
It's an unusual role so far this year, as far as not a lot of strikeouts and barely striking out any right-handed hitters.
He has struck out 1 right-handed hitter the entire season. It was Nicholas Castellanos. And one of the many starts Walker's already had against the Phillies. April 11th had to be the first start for Walker. He struck out Castellanos, has not struck out a righty since. 3-2 on O'Neill. Right-handed batting, Edmundo Sosa on deck. Swing and a miss by O'Neill. So the drought is over for Taijuan Walker. He has struck out a right-handed hitter for the first time in over a month as he punches out Tyler O'Neill.
On a slider that is up, and sometimes you get away with them.
Well, when a hitter is struggling like O'Neill is struggling, you get away with him. Although in his last at bat of the first game, he started tried to start a rally for the Cardinals with a base hit off Diaz.
It's the only time he's made contact today. Edmundo Sosa takes a strike. 4 times in 5 at bats O'Neill has struck out in this doubleheader. Sosa hasn't hit much. Loops one toward right. Travis Jankowski, a good jump right there to win the inning. Solid top of the second for Walker. 1-2-3, and it's 1-0 Mets. Last non-strike back-to-back losing seasons for the Cardinals, 1958 and 59.
That would have been towards the end of Stan Musial's career. He retired in '63. Ken Boyer probably would have been young and coming up. Bob Gibson young and coming up.
Our M&M's fun facts says Eduardo Escobar hits one back to Nats, always a good fielder, and Steven retires Escobar.
Fred Hutchinson was the manager of that team, replaced by Stan Hack.
Fred Hutchinson, I remember him as the Cincinnati Red manager.
That's right.
Think about even in the last 22 seasons, the Cardinals have had 21 winning records, and yet they've gone through a handful of managers. La Russa retired after the last World Series, and it was Matheny, Mike Schilt. Now they're on to Ollie Marmol. So even a winning record won't keep you around in St. Louis. Cardinals have not won a World Series since La Russa's last year, which was Pujols' last year. Now he's back. McNeil looks at a strike and a curve from Matz.
Kenny Boyer was a Gold Glover on that team. Dick Schofield was traded for in the middle of the season.
Right, the Cardinals didn't get Dick Groat until I believe '61. I'm not sure. Groat, I believe, won the batting title in '60 with the Pirates.
So MVP, was he not?
He's MVP in a Pittsburgh uniform, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pittsburgh has a lot of batting champions, the Pirates, over the years.
There was an infielder on that Cardinal team, Ruben Amaro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Must have driven Harry Carey nuts to call those 2 back-to-back losing seasons in the late 50s. KMOX.
He had no problem dropping it on him. Don Blasingame, Alvin Dark, Eddie Casco,
Gene Freeze,
Vinegar Ben Mizell, who was an original Met.
That's right.
Lindy McDaniel.
Groat's first year with the Cardinals was 63, Keith.
Who's?
Dick Groat.
Okay, 63.
Yeah.
So he was there, the '64 championship team. That's right. McCarver was coming up around then too, in the late 50s, early 60s.
Well, he played in '59, had to, because he played in those 4 decades.
Right.
McNeil swings and misses on a high fastball. Steven Matz has his first strikeout.
High fastball.
Stan the Man hit .337 that year.
Say that again.
To Stan the Man, .337 that year.
Yep.
There you go.
Number 6 jersey for Stan Musial. Strike on the inside corner to Davis.
Nice shot. Sun setting over Manhattan.
Really beautiful day all day here. Matz doesn't get the top of the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike. What was it like for the younger players, Keith, around Stan Musial whenever he'd come around?
Well, Stan was always very jovial and just like one of the guys. And he always joked around and always say, "What do you say? What do you say? What do you say?" And then you put a bat in his hand and he would get in that stance he always had that was very unique. He's a wonderful man.
3,630 hits. That's a whole lot. Top 5 all time. So maybe you look at the 3,000 hit club, and the guys between 3,000 and say 3,200 are all kind of grouped together. It's a whole different level of elite when you get to those guys that are in the 33, 34, 3,500 hit range. Stan Musial 3,600.
Yeah, he was the National League leader for decades until Pete Rose overtook him.
1,815 hits on the road, 1,815 hits at home.
That is the definition of consistency. Full count on JD. Edman goes out. Bader comes in. It's the center fielder's ball, and Bader retires Davis to win the inning. Quick inning for Matz. 1, 2, 3. Taijuan Walker goes to work with a 1-0 lead in the 3rd. Walker has struck out 3 of the 7 that he's faced so far. Harrison Bader starts the 3rd. And another strike from Walker. Bader struck out to end the 1st game. Took a wild swing at a 3-2 slider that was way low and outside. The Mets certainly glad to have it. Beat the Cardinals 3-1. Cardinal fan incognito. Wonder who that person thought they were trying to hide from. Maybe you just don't want to be known as a Cardinals fan.
Oh, they travel well, don't they? Cardinals, Cubs, Red Sox. Mets are traveling well now on the road with their fan base.
Yep. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Bader. Nimmo coming in for this one off Bader's bat. Brandon Nimmo makes the play. 1 out, 5 straight retired by Taijuan Walker. As we visit with my friend and yours, Steve Gelbs.
Great friend, Wayne. Great friend. Next time. We know that Taijuan Walker has had a lot of success with his splitter, but even still, he's decided to change that grip a little bit this season. From really the start of the season to his last start, he took Carlos Carrasco's grip. So we're going to show you a look at the 2 different pitches after this pitch coming up by Taijuan Walker to Knizner. On the left, you'll see the former grip, which was off the seams. Tonight you see that he has one finger on a seam, and the difference is that that first grip got more two-seam run on the splitter. This new grip gets more depth, more downward depth, and the reason that he wanted to make that change is it plays better off his four-seam, which we know this season he's throwing a lot more, not so much the two-seam, so he doesn't want that splitter playing off the two-seam as much. The key to this pitch, he said, is just making sure that the last thing that the ball touches is that finger on the seam.
And it seems to me, Ronnie, that would get kind of a sinking action, a screwball action.
Eduardo Escobar handles this grounder from Kisner and throws him out. Always the accurate throws from Escobar. 2 up, 2 down.
So he's right. See, the horseshoe is above. He's right on the seams. Maybe the middle finger a little off that right seam. But with that kind of grip, it's going to tumble and drop. It won't move as far inside and down to the right-handed hitter. Good ground ball pitch, what you produced.
So Walker retiring 8 of the first 9. The only blemish, that soft single off the bat of Goldschmidt in the first. Back to the top of the order, Tommy Edman.
Beautiful day. Gorgeous.
I mean, what a great day to come and watch too, right? 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You hope that this game will be done at 9 o'clock, 9:30 or so, whatever. 9:30, 10, I guess.
Hold on.
Where am I living? Sorry.
I'm gonna have to get a fan.
So,
fan you.
I was,
okay?
I was stuck in 1978 there for a second. Apologies.
9 o'clock.
10 o'clock. Sorry.
Oh, bounced and got some of the umpire.
Well, you know, they have that little padding adjunct to the mask that protects the neck area, and boy, that protected Andy Fletcher there. See how it's coming up? It could have came up and got him in the throat.
Comfortable day at the ballpark. Taijuan Walker's looked comfortable early on against the Cardinals. 2-2 on Edman. Popped up. Escobar moving over, has room, makes the catch. And Walker is second straight 1-2-3 inning. After 2.5, the Mets have a 1-0 lead. Get up to the minute baseball chatter as our insiders share their opinions on the latest Mets and Yankees news. Baseball night in New York, presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Weeknights at 6, only on SNY. Travis Jankowski in there. Left-handed batter against the lefty Mats, and Jankowski playing right field both games of the doubleheader. And probably the rest of this series too, with Starling Marte on the bereavement list. As we mentioned in the first game, in case you missed it, Starling's grandmother passed away, really the woman that raised Starling. And it was a big blow to him as he's headed back home to deal with that. A strike to Jankowski, 1-2, and the bereavement list will give him a minimum of 3 days, a maximum of 7 away from the team. The Mets have no problem letting Starling take all the time he needs. Jankowski carved up by Mats, goes down looking. Second strikeout for Mats.
Second game of a doubleheader. I think the pitchers are going to get the close ones. Let's see. That missed, but it's awful close, but it missed.
And they said that nobody would buy his jersey.
That's right. In fact, his teammates all have a practice jersey they wear of Travis on the field at times in the weight room, just to let him know they're going to buy his jersey.
16 Jankowski shirts around the clubhouse with the team. Ball 1 to Tomas Nido. Buck Showalter got it all together with the big box of Jankowski t-shirts. Eduardo Escobar revealed them in a team meeting. One thing Jankowski said about it is that he's never been on a team where individuals are cared for as much by their fellow teammates and by the coaching staff, that each individual player really feels a part of this team.
I think most of that starts with Buck, right? Also playing guys, having them out there and contributing. You feel inside that you're helping the team instead of a Scorbini in the background.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Nito. Spectra mobile high-speed pitch. Both guys dialing up 96. Steven Matz has a great arm. Hasn't had the results he wants at times. 3-2 on Nito. Consistency can sometimes be elusive to Steven Matz. On the inside corner, late call. Andy Fletcher took a long look. Tomas Nito aghast at that called third strike, and a little side eye from Buck Showalter too.
This one caught the plate.
This one is closer. That's too close to take.
Maybe not.
And Fletcher right now is a guy that's going to have those close ones are going the pitcher's way.
Andy Fletcher has the balls and strikes. Crew chief Bill Welke at first. Chris Siegel and John Bacon on the other bases. Strike one to Nimmo. Popped out to third his first time. Nimmo has not been on base in this doubleheader. He had his streak of 26 straight games on base ended earlier.
That looked like a little cutter from Matz. First one of the game.
And Brandon was wondering what that was he just saw.
Yeah.
Feel like you know a guy and then he throws a cutter at you.
That wasn't in the report before the game.
Forget the report. These guys know each other pretty well
right.
as teammates too. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Nimmo.
Oh, Rusty.
Marcano homered for the only run of this game so far. Waits on deck. He has the only Mets hit as well against Matz.
And shadow. Into the shadow nose.
Base hit for Nimmo down the left field line. Extra bases for Brandon. He pulls up at second with a 2-out, 2-strike double, as we once again see Brandon Nimmo go against the shift and hit one to the opposite field down the third baseline.
Well, we've seen him do it with 2 strikes going down the third baseline, and particularly against left-handers. And that's just good hitting. And there's not enough left-handers don't come in enough that I've seen so far this year. And that's just, it stays level on that high pitch. And that is just picture perfect.
Well, if anyone can remember the game with Pepper, that's what he did right there. He played Pepper with that ball down the left field line.
So a 2-out RBI chance for Cano. Homered off Matz's last time. First pitch curveball strike.
Funny light at the plate. At this time of the night, it comes right out of right center and kind of illuminates the batter and the catcher like in the perfect light. There's right center. Comes right off there, and it's like the best light you could ever get for the movies.
especially on the catcher Kisner. You could see the glow. Steven Matz, who sometimes wears his emotions out on the mound.
Yeah, he wasn't happy with that pitch. It was up.
Yeah. So will it stop him because Canna hit a home run on an inside fastball, or 0-2 will he try to straighten Canna up with another one off the plate in? That's a good pitch.
Andy Fletcher, who's given some room to Matz in this inning, didn't give him that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes now on Canna.
Pitching coach is not happy.
Canna fouls one off to the right. It's still 1-2. Mets have been so good in these spots. 2 outs, 2 strikes. This has been where the offense has excelled in a lot of ways this season. That's near the top of the major league leading. 2 strike hits, 2 out hits, 2 out RBIs. And 1-2. Canna fouls another one back.
Oh, that's a good seat.
See it all from right there.
No one in front of you when you're on the rail.
Curveball fouled at home plate. So Canna, who tends to work long at bats, fouling some pitches off, staying tough with 2 strikes.
This can be frustrating for a pitcher. He made a pitch with a changeup that he thought he was out of the inning.
Yep.
Throws one of his best curveballs that he just gets a small piece of.
Into those frustrations start to boil over for Matz that we've always seen. Canna takes inside. That one just missed the corner. Now it's back to even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two and two. Canna takes ball 3. Just knowing Steven Matz and how he gets on the mound. Think back to that pitch that he missed earlier in the at-bat. He got frustrated with himself. And now he's been unable to put away Canna. It's gone to a full count, 3-2. 5th full count Matz has entered so far in this game. So he looks toward that evening glow coming at home plate. The 3-2. Roller third base side. Matz makes sure it stays foul. Remember last year when Taijuan Walker kicked one foul in Pittsburgh?
In Pittsburgh, yes.
Unloaded the bases. What a weird play that was.
That was the beginning of the end of Taijuan Walker's season right there. He went
ice cold after that.
He went ice cold after that.
Another good breaking pitch.
Yes. Got a piece of it.
Matz has thrown 58 pitches. 17 of them have been to Canna. Memo at second, ready to take off with 2 outs on a base hit from Mark Canna. Trying to come through against Matz on 3-2. Canna. That's one in the air towards center. Easy for Bader. And the Gold Glover retires Canha to end the inning. So long at bat, but Matz takes care of Canha, and the Mets don't score in the third. Still 1-0. Brandon Donovan shows bunt, takes a first pitch ball from Taijuan Walker. One ball, one strike as Walker gets the fastball over. He's only allowed one hit so far. Splitter in the dirt, 2-1. Donovan born in Germany. His dad was in the Army. Takes ball 3, full count. 7th German-born player in Major League history.
Ron Gardenhire's one.
7th German-born in Cardinal history, I should say.
Okay.
Edwin Jackson was the last. Well, he was the last probably for every team. There's still 3-2 on Donovan. Hit hard, a base hit to center. Brendan Donovan, the leadoff knock, and the Cardinals have their second hit against Taijuan Walker.
Nice at bat by Donovan.
He's got a nice swing.
Here's Sharman, ultra strong stats. Cardinals with 14 straight winning seasons, second longest active streak in the majors. Yankees have not had a losing season since the early 90s. Buck Showalter took over a time when the Yankees were down. Got them back to be a winning team, went to the playoffs in '95, and then there was a little falling out with George Steinbrenner. Joe Torre took over, and we know the rest.
Yep, that could happen.
It's happened before.
I believe in '94, the strike year when they struck the second half of that season in the World Series. Yankees were under Buck were 6-7 games in first place.
Yeah, they would have been to the playoffs that year too. 29 straight winning season, second longest streak in history. Trying to get to their own record, which they set in a lot of different variations of the Yankees, from Ruth to Mantle. And all points in between, from 1926 to 1964.
So it all started with Babe Ruth and a few other great players.
Throw to first as Donovan dives back. Taijuan Walker will get some pickoffs. He had a handful last year, had one recently.
Yeah, he's got quick feet. You know, you get lulled into big right-handers don't have good moves. He's an exception.
Good pitch there to get Goldschmidt to chase on that splitter. Walker says he's always had a really good pickup move, as we see the splitter again.
So he either has the movement straight down. That one worked away from Goldschmidt.
Goldschmidt laid off that one, a cutter.
That's a tough pitch to lay off right there. That was a good one.
Laid off because he couldn't hit it. Just couldn't pull the trigger.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Goldschmidt.
So Fletcher gives you a little room on the right side of the plate, not the left.
It's interesting because he seems to line up over that right side of the plate, so you think he'd have the real vision of the corner there.
funny. Fletcher, most umpires are a little closer, put their hand on the shoulder of the catcher, and then crouch down. He starts way behind the catcher and kind of kneels in when he's ready.
Full count. We'll see if Donovan takes off from first. And Walker chases him back.
So he's got his ready position as well.
Donovan's running. Goldschmidt hammers one toward the corner. That's a base hit. Donovan will take off and head for the plate. Relay throw on the way from Lindor. And Brendan Donovan is safe at the plate. Paul Goldschmidt with an RBI double. The runner going, helping Donovan score all the way from first. The Cardinals have tied this game. It's 1-1.
Pretty good up and in fastball right there. And then Goldschmidt just turned on this. Up in the strike zone. Might have been had some plate. Donovan was running, and I don't know how this play got so close. I think he had a bad turn at second base.
He did, Keith. He stopped at second base. I think he lost where the ball was. Nito with a nice attempt at the sweep tag. Watch him at second. I think he lost where the ball was. His helmet.
To see it, I mean, that's just a bad read right there. There's no one going to catch that ball with a line drive. So speed makes up for a lot of mistakes.
His helmet kind of got down into his eyes. It seemed like that may have shielded him.
It's too loose, right? So
it looks good after, I guess, when his hair is flying through the breeze, but it might not be practical if you can't see where the ball is. Goldschmidt's driven in both runs for the Cardinals in this doubleheader.
is he saying the helmet got in the way or that got in the lights?
Got in the light.
Yeah. That's Skip Schumacher talking to him, the bench coach for the Cardinals.
There's Jose Oquendo. He's been a long-time coach with the Cardinals, former New York Metropolitan.
His career flourished though when he went to the Cardinals.
Sure did.
Came like their
Came up very young with us.
He was like their 10th man.
Carlson pops it up. Lindor having to run pretty far in to make that catch.
There's a lot of wind going on in this game. You feel it up here in the booth. So Carlson does not get the runner over. You can see the flags. They're whipping.
Wonder if, as Corey Dickerson will bat now, if the shift is banned next year, will guys like Jose Oquendo start to come back into vogue? Those types of middle infielders that can cover a lot of ground, defense first second baseman, or a defense first shortstop. Not a guy's going to hit a lot. Maybe not even be what a normal major league hitter is, but could play really good defense.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. They're not going to be able to hide a defensive player who's not very good at his position in a shift where there's three people on that side. Yeah, I agree 100%. Lindor has even said that no shift plays more into this game because it plays more into his athleticism. I don't know if that's completely true, but you know, if you feel that way. Oh.
Dickerson fouls one back, 1-1 strike. Saw Guillorme there. Guillorme finds his at-bats in innings anyway because he's so good defensively and can handle the bat pretty well.
There's the back swing.
I just wonder if people like Jose Oquendo, which we really haven't seen as much of in the last 10, 15, 20 years, will come back into play if the shift is gone.
Well, you're not going to have with the DH now universal. We've had some teams we've played already now. We've seen that have had only a 3-man bench. You know, most teams have a 4-man bench. You don't need the 5 because you're not making the pitching changes. so you don't need that depth on the bench. It's going to add more pitching, more to the roster, I think, on the pitching side than on the everyday player side.
Oh, little looper off the bat of Dickerson, a base hit. Runner at second, Goldschmidt. Kind of had to wait to see if Canha was going to catch that. It certainly didn't look like from here that he would, but Goldschmidt only advances 90 feet on the base hit by Dickerson. The Cardinals have been on first and third.
He was not going to score on this ball anyway. Look at this. This is like Mookie Wilson right here, picking it off the ground.
This will be the lowest pitch hit for a base hit this year.
There's Goldschmidt on the base there. See, he kind of stops. He just wasn't sure. And you also know that Canha was playing tight. You're not going to score in that base hit. Here's Mook. Well, not really. There's Mookie's uniform.
Now, Starling Marte had one really low off the ground. The first hit in that 7-run ninth inning against the Phillies.
That breaking ball to Dickerson was, I'm going to say, 3-4 inches inside and probably maybe 3 inches off the ground, and he golfed it into the opposite field. Not an easy thing to do. Oh boy, that is getting tied up right there inside. Here's the Dickerson. Watch this. That ball is 2 inches, 3 inches off the ground, and now you couldn't tell it was inside, and he kind of just sliced it into left field.
Taijuan Walker was hitting every slider. Go ahead, Keith. Sorry.
There you go. It's all right. Oh, it wasn't as inside as I thought. It might have been on the corner, but still, nonetheless, that's not an easy pitch to slice the opposite direction.
Splitter gets a swing and miss from O'Neill.
You notice too now, Ron, it's the second start for Walker, and he's through a great game and very fine game in Washington. He's not overthrowing. He's just taking a nice, easy, no extra exertion, and his command is there.
Well, the first close play with Dickerson diving back.
The only thing he's missed in this inning is that he was hitting that slider each and every time he threw it. Another good move, and the tag applied by Alonso. This inning he's missed with the slider.
He's given up a run on 3 hits here in the fourth, trying to get out of trouble. 2-2. Swing and a miss. O'Neill strikes out again. 5th time in the doubleheader, and the 2nd time against Taijuan Walker.
Gosh almighty. Wow. It's a good pitch. O'Neill's just having himself. I mean, geez. Keep an eye on him. Make sure he's okay. Make sure you walk him home.
Somehow the only guys made contact against was Edwin Diaz. Mundo Sosa takes ball 1.
Go figure. You're right.
Again, that slider just missing the spot. Walker wanted it, but he hasn't got it since Fletcher didn't call the one on Goldschmidt.
Time's called as Nito makes sure the defense knows what to do.
Yeah, in case the runner on first takes off. Dickerson.
Goldschmidt's really an excellent base runner at third. Bounce to Escobar. Perfect throw across to Sosa. And Walker escapes trouble in the fourth. He does give up 1 run as the Cardinals tie the game. Stay after the Mets-Phillies game Saturday, May 28th for a spectacular fireworks show presented by Northwell Health. Get your tickets directly from the source, Mets.com/tickets. Lindor leads off. Fastball in from Steven Matz. Francisco grounded at third his first time. Curveball for Matz. He's thrown his curveball more tonight than he has any other start this year.
Well, that was a good pitch there. Perfect.
Off the end of the bat, Lindor floats one to Carlson in right. One away in the bottom of the fourth. Told you about the 2-strike hits, the 2-out runs. That's something the Mets have been good at all year. A lot of infield hits too. Way more than any other team. The Cubs are second with 46.
So what do the analytics people tell you when you have so many infield hits?
Just keep rolling them out there.
No, they do not say that.
Keep dribbling them to third.
No, they'll say that exit velocity will catch up to you at some point.
Well,
or lack of exit velocity.
Pete Alonso's hoping it goes the other way because he keeps crushing balls that die on the warning track. Another curveball from Matz. Alonso hit one earlier in the first game, 105 miles an hour off the bat, and barely made it to the warning track in center field.
It's a lot of wind, a lot of cross current. I'm anxious to see when the weather warms up and summer comes how the ball's going to travel.
Seemed like it traveled a little better Sunday when it was a fairly warm day here. That last foul ball got some of Kisner.
Yeah, it did.
J.D. Davis actually leads the major leagues in average exit or in hard hit rate, I should say. He's only hitting 200. So maybe the infield hits are the ones that are working.
Well, a part of that is that the Mets have players that put the ball in play with 2 strikes. So that gives you a chance, right, as opposed to the punch out.
Matz has struck out 3 so far. He's ahead of Alonso 1 and 2. That one skips by Kisner, and it's 2 and 2 on Pete. Alonso has played in all 37 Mets games now, this being the 38th. Told our friend Anthony DeComo of MLB.com he'd like to play all 162 this year. That's in there. Strike 3 called. Fastball caught a lot of plate over the inside corner there to strike out Alonso.
I think Pete got caught thinking a breaking ball was coming and got caught with the fastball in, locked him up.
Not Escobar. He's adopted the 7th inning stretch song Lazy Mary.
Well, he's
his walk-up music.
He's had a little struggle with it. I'd love to ask him. He probably got a knock. Well, maybe it was playing or it felt good. Or
strike there to Escobar. I thought I heard it earlier. I wasn't sure if I was mistaken or what, but nope, he gets his walk-up music now for some of his at-bats. Escobar hits this one hard, deep toward right center. Bader back. It is gone. Home run. Eduardo Escobar. Well, keep Lazy Mary playing. 2-out homer for Escobar, his 2nd of the year, and the Mets have a 2-1 lead.
Seven home runs now given up by Matz in his last 3 starts.
2nd home run for Escobar and going the other way. Change up, turnover, and didn't try to pull. There's the turnover. Not a bad pitch, just up. But Escobar going up the middle where the ball has not been traveling, and that's the opposite gap. That's impressive.
It's a matter of time before the homers come for Escobar. He had 28 last season.
Boy, he needed that too.
It's like, come on. It was a pretty good pitch. I don't mind giving up a hit, but not a home run.
First homer since April 21st for Escobar. That was against the Giants. Chopper to Donovan. The third baseman throws out Jeff McNeil to end the inning, but the Mets are back on top. Another home run allowed by Steven Matz. Eduardo Escobar makes it 2-1. For St. Louis against Taijuan Walker, Mets are back in front 2-1. Bader fouls off a curve, but a couple of solo homers have given the Mets the lead. Canna in the first and Escobar in the fourth against Steven Matz.
Saw a lot of curveballs from Walker in his last start. Not as many tonight against the Cardinals so far here in the fifth.
And once again, Mets answering when the opposing team scores. They've been very good at the bottom half of the inning or the next top of inning, wherever they're on the road or home, coming back and scoring after. That man right there did the job for him. It's a big hit for him.
Escobar says that he thinks that's the sign of a great team, a team that can bounce back quickly. Good splitter from Walker. He's had a good one tonight. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Bader.
You can hear the sound of Nito's glove when he catches that ball, that it's a heavy split finger. Bottom drops out.
It's been a good pitch for Carlos Carrasco this year, and as Steve said, he's using that grip now. Number 9 batter, the catcher Kisner on deck. Mets did make a roster move between games. They sent Jake Reed back to AAA after his first big league win. Couple of scoreless innings. Sent him back to Syracuse, and Gosuke Kato is on the roster for the Mets. Kato, a utility player.
They get them from the Blue Jays.
Came from the Blue Jays, where he played in a couple of big league games this year. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Bader. Mets picked him up off of waivers. Miles Michaelis took the loss in game 1. Adam Wainwright next to him. 3-2 on Bader. Wainwright had a funny line against after the game the other day when Pujols pitched the end of it. Wainwright told Pujols not to worry because he gave up a home run his first game too, and that maybe in 17 years Albert and Kisner can break all of Wainwright and Yadi's records. Bader skies one toward Nimmo. Can you see it? No, he can. McNeil does though, and he's got it.
You know, it's a little thing, and it becomes a funny thing there, but being out and in position just in case something like that happens is heads up ball.
And that's what the squirrel always is. A squirrel's in the game. He's a very alert player.
Somewhere up there, Brandon Nimmo lost that ball off the bat of Bader. As Kisner fouls one off. And it's really another theme for the Mets this year, right? They've had guys get themselves in the right position. All 9 guys moving around. With that double play or whatever that was, the Mets had those 2 outs at third base. Walker's last start because Starling Marte was in the right spot in shallow right field. Kisner hits one toward Nimmo. He won't get to this. 1 out single for the Cardinal catcher.
I mean, there's been a vast improvement in the Mets defense, overall defense this season. Kisner gets jammed a little on this fastball from Walker inside that produces the hit.
Just didn't get it in enough.
Tommy Edman 0 for 2, fouled out his last time. Drills this ball toward the right field corner, out of the reach of Jankowski, and it kicks away from him. Kisner's being waved home. He should score. Edman's headed for third. He'll have an RBI triple. And this game is tied as Tommy Edman drives in Andrew Kisner.
Well, the Cardinals give the Mets a little of their own medicine. They come right back. He got on top of this fastball. He got the barrel out. And this terrible bounce off the angle of the fence there. And this guy, Kitzner, reads it nicely. Doesn't run great, but he runs good enough. And with that bad carom, he scores easily. And this young man can fly. He turns on the jets.
His third triple this year. Mets have their infield in. Donovan looks at a pitch that just missed. 2 balls, no strikes. Back-to-back innings with runs for the Cardinals. See the Mets infield playing close with Edman at third and 1 out. Strike from Walker on the inside corner.
Cardinals have already had an opportunity to drive in a run on third base last inning, as a matter of fact, with less than 2 outs, and didn't get it done.
First game as well.
3 balls and 1 strike. Goldschmidt on deck.
Pretty patient hitting right there from Donovan. It seems like he's got an idea of Walker's splitter.
Ball 4. First base was open, but certainly don't want to put a guy on in front of Paul Goldschmidt. And now Jeremy Hefner heads to the mound.
Well, it's interesting if you've been watching this 2 games, Keith. We've seen Goldschmidt handle some interesting pitches. A ball in the outside corner, waist high, hit for a home run in game 1. He hit a ball inside and up here against Taijuan Walker for a double to left to score the first run. What you need here, even though he's got pretty good speed for a big man, is you need a ball on the ground. So as a pitcher, I'm trying to work him hitting my split finger for a ground ball.
I'm going to be very aggressive up at the plate, make him get the splitter up, but looking for a fastball. You got the pitcher in trouble here, first and third.
Slow roller along the third base side. It's foul.
Walker's got a good little tight slider.
Yeah, that was a good pitch.
Good pitch.
Goldschmidt has only hit into 1 double play this year.
So for Taijuan, he's got 3 pitches that can produce a ground ball. That 2-seamer running down and in. He's got that slider he just threw, and he's got the split finger if the bottom drops out. But you got to get ahead, and as Adonis Medina gets up in the bullpen, he's gotten ahead. He can expand the plate.
Line drive to right center. Base hit for Goldschmidt. Edman scores on his way to third. Donovan is held up. Goldschmidt has a double, and the Cardinals have the lead. It's 3-2.
More and more I see Goldschmidt when the Ducks are on the pond. He's looking for that ball out over the plate to use the opposite field. And this is a high slider again. He got it up. He got it away. But Goldschmidt's whole purpose there was to go up the middle into that other gap. And there's this flat slider up. And that's basically almost the same pitch he hit out in the first game. But it was a fastball, same area.
He's driven in 3 of the 4 Cardinal runs in this doubleheader. He's 3 for 3 in this game. Carlson whiffs on a curve. Now a real big spot for Walker. The Mets down 1, and he's trying to keep it right there.
I know you got to rest your starters, but boy, wouldn't you love to have Arenado up right now?
It's Carlson instead. There's Arenado, right where the Mets want him. Little bloop. Nimmo coming in. Nimmo's there. He's got it. Brendan Donovan tagging from third. Now he's going to go back. Good throw by Nimmo. Puts Donovan back at third. A big out for Walker. 2 down here in the 5th.
Nope. Number 3 not getting the run. Third time they're not getting the runner in with third with less than 2 outs.
You see Carlson, he asked Ron Pop Warner, the third base coach, should I have went there? He goes, no, absolutely not.
No way.
Well, Donovan came down the line and really forced the throw.
Yeah,
right?
he did.
And it was really, you never know, he might throw it away. It might scoot by the catcher and you score.
So the Mets had a decision with Corey Dickerson, a left-hander, due up. The Mets have decided to put Dickerson on with an intentional walk, and that brings up the struggling Tyler O'Neill, who has struck out twice against Walker today.
Yes, he has 5 strikeouts on the day. That's a slider right there that struck him out. Not a good one. And that splitter was the wicket right there. That's going to get a lot of hitters.
What a difference a year makes. You would never have done this last year.
O'Neill takes in the dirt ball 1. Last time a Cardinal struck out 5 times in a doubleheader, Edgar Renteria in 2003 against the Cubs. Since at least 1906, no Cardinal has ever struck out 6 times in a doubleheader.
Wow.
And there's strike 1 to O'Neill.
That means I didn't do that either.
You did not. Good job.
Outstanding work by you.
Wipe my brow there. I was sweating.
Walker's given up 2 in this inning, trying to keep it right there with the bases loaded. O'Neill swings at the splitter. It's 1 and 2.
Yeah,
Cardinals have taken the lead here in the 5th, but Taijuan Walker trying not to give them any more. Bases loaded for Tyler O'Neill, the 1-2. He lays off, and it's 2 and 2.
second ball that Nito has blocked with the runner on third.
Steps off a second time.
Some pitchers don't like to be out there too long with too many signs shaking off. Just upsets their rhythm, so they step off. Makes me feel like he wants to throw a fastball.
He does, and O'Neill fouls it back. Why'd you think the fastball?
Because Nito, in his mind, would always go to the split finger. Then he would go to the slider, and those are the first 2 signs he would give. Naturally, because of this at bat and how it's gone.
2 and 2. Ball 3. O'Neill didn't chase the splitter on 1 and 2, nor did he on 2 and 2. And now full count, bases loaded. You have to give in.
You don't have to give in. I think the way that O'Neill's going, you just make a better quality split finger. One that appears to be a strike and then dives out of the zone. Those were non-competitive. The last one anyway.
3 and 2. The runners will go. O'Neill fouls one out of play on a fastball.
Reared back and let one go.
It's Donovan at third, Goldschmidt at second, Dickerson at first. They all run pretty well. And they will all get a head start once again on a 3-2 pitch. With the bases loaded, O'Neill. It's a line drive to center. Nimmo coming in, has the baseball to win the inning. Walker limits the damage. He allows 2 but leaves 3. It's 3-2 St. Louis to the bottom of the 5th. St. Louis has the lead for the first time in this doubleheader. It's only a 1-run lead as Steven Matz delivers inside to J.D. Davis. Davis flied to center. Keith, we talked about his hard hit rate. If you're hitting the ball well and not getting hits, does that extend the frustration?
Yes, it does. What comes to mind is, I can't think of his name right now, the outfielder that used to hit the ball hard all the time. Davis reminds me of Lagares. Juan Lagares used to hit so many bullets at people, and Davis is the same way. It beats getting jammed and not hitting the ball good, but at a certain point, and it's gone on a lot for JD, it can get terribly frustrating, and you just got to keep plugging, which he does.
The problem is that he's not in the lineup every day, you know, so it doesn't give him a chance to get some rhythm.
He's the DH for this game. Count 2 balls, 2 strikes. And now a full count. I have to ask Buck maybe before the game tomorrow, but is there a situation here where McNeil or Canna could play right field and you put Escobar at second base and you put Davis at third while Starling Marte is on the bereavement list at least? 3-2 fastball beats J.D. Davis, and Steven Matz has his 5th strikeout. For the best coverage in the game, let's check out the T-Mobile coverage cam.
Wow. One World Trade.
At One World Trade.
Yep.
You know, Wayne, and I think that Buck likes having the good defense out there. When you got the DH now, you can play Davis, maybe mix him in more as a DH with Marte gone, but I think he likes having Escobar's glove at third, and I do too.
Plus Jankowski's glove in the outfield. We've seen Jankowski play both ends of the doubleheader.
Well, just like the starter in game 1 for the Cardinals, Miles Michaelis, he got better as the game went on. And Matz is rounding into form himself.
He's only given up 3 hits, 2 of them homers though. Canna and Escobar. He hasn't walked anybody. Balls, 2 strikes on Jankowski. And Steven has mentioned that his changeup is actually what he feels like is his best pitch.
There's one right there.
For a good one to strike out Jankowski. Second time Jankowski's punched out against Matz, who now has 6 strikeouts.
I believe you're right, Wayne, that the changeup might be his best pitch. But it's better when he's mixing the curveball in as well for a strike. I don't think he can be the kind of pitcher who's a 2-pitch pitcher, fastball change. He needs to be able to throw 20% curveballs and throw them for strikes.
Tomas Nido struck out his first time. Matz mowing down the bottom of the order here. Stevens snapping back after that pitch missed. There's still that temper on the mound.
Yeah, he's hard on himself. Always has been. Cares. Has passion. The hard part is getting that into a spot where it works in your favor, not against you.
We're talking about Matz, how he's improved. Remember, he used to telegraph that change, and he hasn't in this entire game, but that last one kind of just tipped it off a little bit.
How so?
He just kind of came down and goosed it a little bit. I can tell as a hitter when a pitcher tips, and it's in his delivery. And it's usually a secondary pitch. It's something different. You can see it in that split second and identify it.
Is that perceptible to the hitter?
Yes. Yes. Because there's a change in. He's not going to. Pitchers are not going to, when they throw their fastball, they're going to let it go. They're going to let it go. They're just going to let it. But on a changeup, they might come in here a little bit when they're up here. But Matz just did that, and you can tell as a hitter, and that's Western Union.
Full count on Nito.
Acceleration versus deceleration. I think that's what happens to him occasionally.
And that's the first time he's done it. He's been real good with it tonight.
Nito hangs in with a foul ball, and it's still a full count.
His curveball has been very effective to the right-hand hitters because he's hitting it to break. It's a big breaker.
Yeah.
And it's not off the table, but it's breaking down and getting under the right-hander's bats.
When I was brought up in the Mets system, they were adamant about when you threw a breaking ball or a changeup that it had to appear that you were at least accelerating as much as you did on a fastball or a little more, but you could never be less.
Nito takes strike 3. Matz burning that fastball in the inside corner again. And Steven Matz strikes out the side in the 5th. The Cardinals have a 3-2 lead. All right, thank you very much, Maria. Stream the Mets with the new SNY app. Watch live Mets games, pre- and post-game shows, and all SNY programming anytime, anywhere, on any device with an in-market TV provider subscription. The SNY app. Scan that code and download it right now. That's the Empire State Building. They actually took, MLB Network did, Albert Pujols to the Empire State Building today.
Oh, wow.
As we see Adonis Medina take over on the mound for the Mets.
Boy, he has been great. 2 2/3 innings against the Phillies in his last outing. An inning in his debut with the Mets debut, and struck out all 3 in Arizona.
Mundo Sosa swings and misses on the first pitch from Medina. Got his first big league win against the Phillies, thanks to that 7-run 9th inning in Philadelphia.
Yeah, and he held him in check. It was 2 2/3 or 2 1/3 he went. And he earned that win. I guess Matz has done as well.
Looks like it. Just over 90 pitches and 5 innings for Matz as well. Sosa lifts one toward left center. Long run. Brandon Nimmo gets to it. Makes the catch. That one kept drifting, and Nimmo chased it down on the warning track.
Putting to the opposite field. Long way to go for it. A lot of hang time. That ball just kept carrying. I didn't think he hit that good. This ball gets back to the track.
Sosa flies out. Now Bader bats against Adonis Medina. Bader's flied out twice. I did ask your guy Mark Kayaffa at the MLB Network if they took all the relief pitchers to the Empire State Building.
That's funny.
He said no, just Albert. McNeil gets to it with a backhand. Long off balance throw. It's in time to get Bader. What a play by McNeil.
That's a big league play right there. Are they going to challenge? They're going to challenge. If he beats it, it's still a heck of a play by McNeil. Backhand, no time to waste, and throw. And that's an accurate, strong throw. He beat it.
Beat it.
Still a heck of a play.
Really, the Bader might have been the only Cardinal who could have beaten that. He's their fastest player.
That's just a heck of a play by Mr. McNeil.
Our first challenge of the day. We'll wait for Bill Welke to get on the microphone and tell us what's what, but he looks safe.
When you're making that play as a second baseman and you've got to heave that ball to first, you've got to aim that about 10 feet to the right of Pete and have it drift back.
Right.
With a little fade.
It sinks back.
After review, the call is overturned. The runner is safe. St. Louis retains their challenge.
So the crew chief, Bill Welke, who had to announce that the runner was safe, had to overturn his own call at first base.
Yeah, these things happen.
And you know another thing about that play is that McNeil doesn't make that throw. He was over on, because of shifts. He's over on the shortstop side, and it's not a throw that he's used to. So it just really was a fine play.
Great effort by McNeil. Bader with good speed at first. And Medina's going to pay a lot of attention to Bader, who has 8 stolen bases this year in 8 tries. He is a perfect 8 for 8. Cardinals as a team have only been caught stealing 3 times in 32 attempts. Bader tied with Tommy Edman and former Cardinal Colton Wong for the league lead.
Now that he's thrown 2 over, I don't know if this is part of his game, but a good thing to do here is come to the belt and go quickly to the plate. Make sure you stop, but go quickly to the plate. That'll get you at least 1 pitch where he's not stealing. He does not.
Ball 1 to Kisner. You guys had to do this together a lot. How do you play it as pitcher and first baseman?
Well, you have to have a feel for it. You don't only have a feel for how far they're off the base, if they're going to get back, but you have to have a feel when they're going to steal. And it's a feel thing. It's not always something they tell you.
I have no input into this. I'm just over there ready to make the tag if the pitcher throws over. It's all on the pitcher. And on there, some pitchers have had a sixth sense. A guy would steal, you pick him off and you go, how'd you come over? How'd you know he was going?
Former teammates there. Watch the lead by Bader. He really just stands up tall. Doesn't get in that Ricky Henderson crouch.
Bader, a Florida Gator, just like Alonso. Overlapped together at the University of Florida.
He's going to be going here.
And Medina's slow to the plate.
Yeah, really
He's
slow.
got the big leg kick.
So Medina will throw over once, and the next time Bader will be going.
And we saw Bader chatting with Stevie Clapp, the first base coach, as well. There goes Bader. Pitch a strike, and Nito couldn't handle it. Nito was going to try to throw from his knees. Might not have mattered anyway. Harrison Bader, 9 for 9 in stolen base tries. He leads the National League in steals.
Well, behind 2-1, he had to come in with a strike. Nito tries to throw from his knees because of the great jump.
Yeah, he had it stolen. But here's the thing. You've got Kisner, who's up, and he hasn't played every day. And he took that pitch, and it's deep in the count. And he's 2-2 now. He's got 2 strikes. You really would want your base runner to steal early.
Back to the mound. Medina tried to barehand it. Still gets the out at first on Kisner. Bader goes to third. There's 2 outs in the inning.
I mean, he got that with the full right hand, did Medina.
Yes, he did.
Lucky he's still out there.
Tommy Edman had an RBI triple his last time, and he scored the go-ahead run on Goldschmidt's double. Tough customer at the top of the Cardinal order here.
Hit him.
And to hit Edman.
I tell you what, if that ball didn't hit him, there's no way Nito's going to keep that ball from going to the screen.
You know,
going to run.
What you're talking about is a guy who just fielded the ball off his palm, makes the out at first base. This is good for Hefner to go out, because what they should have done, and this is easy to do now. This is the comebacker first, right? So he catches this in his palm.
In the fat of his palm.
Fat of his hand, and it deflects and he makes the play. But because they didn't come out and talk about it hitting his palm, what they could have done is said, hey, listen, to hit his palm, umpire, give him a couple of throws so he can see if he feels all right. They never did that. So that first pitch, you lose your feel, and you almost threw one. Well, you did throw one to the backstop. It just hit Edman first.
He's going to take a couple tosses.
Jeremy Hefner, Buck Showalter, Brian Bacco, one of the trainers.
Hey, Ron, you're a young kid, and you get your first smell of the big leagues. You're going to want to stay in.
Yeah, of course. But they could have helped him out if they came out before. He could have done that before the pitch to Edman, which I think would have helped, you know.
There's the slider.
Oh, it hit his back calf.
Oh, it got the calf.
I don't know if I've ever seen anyone get hit in the back calf.
He's going to have a little bruise there in the morning.
Might have one in about 10 minutes. Runners on the corners. Brendan Donovan's the batter. He's impressive in this doubleheader. Donovan on base 5 times overall. He was on base 3 times in the first game, twice in this one.
He got tremendous speed on the bases.
It's Bader at third, Edman at first. Edman's running, and Tomas Nido lets him go. That's the 9th steal for Tommy Edman. He ties Bader for the National League lead again.
Now this becomes a really big out right here. Got 2 men out on ducks on the pond.
Two balls, no strikes. You also do not want to go to the guy on deck. If you lose Donovan here, then it's Goldschmidt with the bases loaded. Medina clips the inside corner and gets a strike. It's 2-1.
Wonder if Nito's going out there because he was crossed up, because he never did get down to block that with runners on second and third. So maybe Medina crossed him up and they'll figure it out. Tomas Nido so far in this game did not use the pitch calm with Walker and not with Medina also.
Ask around a little bit, but it almost feels like the Mets are phasing out some of the pitch calm. We haven't seen it with as many of the pitchers as we did early on.
Well, we've got some veteran pitchers. That might be part of it. Also playing in front of some big crowds this year, and the noise alone. Nice shot.
Goldschmidt in the on deck circle, 3-1 count. He got good pitch, a good pitch to hit.
Here comes a 3-1. Broken bat. Fouled off by Donovan. And Old Hickory's just laying there on the field.
Kinlan.
That could be like a little paddle there to get someone spanking.
Keith after dark. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Right down the middle, strike 3 called. Big strikeout for Medina. He leaves Goldschmidt in the on-deck circle, and the Cardinals strand 2 more. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. Still 3-2 St. Louis.
Than the home runs for Steven Matz. Now 7 in the last 3 starts. He only gave up 3 hits. He was the good Matz. Good changeup, good breaking ball, and he surprised a lot of the Mets hitters with late fastballs that he threw by Alonso, Davis, and then Nito painting the inside corner.
Good job for Matz, in line for the win, but only a 1-run game that he leaves. Cardinal bullpen will have to help him out. 7 strikeouts, no walks, and Andre Palante, the rookie, the new pitcher.
He came in against the Mets in a start by Matz and ended up pitching 3 effective innings.
Oh, he's got an arm. That's a little giddy up in that fastball. He has held left-hand hitters to a 138 batting average. So, I mean, that fastball was impressive.
2-0 on Nimmo. Palante out of UC Irvine. He was drafted just a few years ago, 4th-round pick of the Cardinals. Obviously with no 2020 minor league season. This is a guy who hasn't pitched much in pro ball, just 145 innings overall. Gets that one over to make it 2-1. Top of the order for the Mets here in the 6th.
Cardinals sure had their chances in both games.
Ground ball to Edman. Nimmo's out. 1 away in the 6th as we drive around the majors. Brought to you by your tri-state Audi dealers. Dodgers held off the Diamondbacks in a 7-6 game. Trey Turner and Mookie Betts with home runs for LA to win game 1 of their doubleheader. Houston homering some more. Alvarez with his 12th as they are pounding the Red Sox. And Mike Clevenger holding the Phillies offense down. 1 hit, 5 scoreless innings for Clevenger, who's back from Tommy John surgery.
I think our studio said all 5 of those home runs were off Nathan Eovaldi in that 2nd inning. Ouch.
Bunch of runs early for Houston. Things are not going great in Boston.
I was at a wedding this weekend in Newport with my whole family. We were all diehard Red Sox fans, and let's just say there's a lot of complaining.
Well, when the Celtics season is over and people look up at the Red Sox, they're going to be quite surprised. Ball 2 to Canna, who homered earlier off of Steven Matz.
Got a fastball in. 3rd home run of the year. Got the Mets on the board. And a lot of little, don't hit too hard.
Body shots.
3-0 on Canna. They're going with the McGuire and Canseco Bash Brothers home run celebration.
Both just going to have to gain about 40-50 more pounds.
One way or the other. In those guys' cases, it was the other.
They're impressive to play around, and the size of them. Parker was on that team. Carney Lansford.
Those were amazing teams.
Dave Henderson, Ricky.
Eckersley in the bullpen. Dave Stewart in the rotation. Incredible teams. Lindor on deck. Is that Donovan Mitchell Jr.? I think it is.
Yes.
Canna looks at a strike. You know what kind of advice Donovan Mitchell had for Lindor?
Play like I play. Boy, he's great.
I think I better not stay around in New York too long. They're going to try to put him in a Knicks uniform.
That's right.
Strike 2 to Canna. Palante just coming in, throwing gas.
He's got an arm. Baby face.
Yeah.
Went to the breaking ball on 3-2, and he lost Canna. It's a 1-out walk. First walk issued by the Cardinals in this game.
When you watch Palante, watch his hands. They stay awfully high. High leg kick. Watch his arm. Really like a javelin thrower. That front elbow stays high as well. He's got a little bit, if you can use your imagination, a little Max Scherzer in there in the way he delivers the ball.
He's got Don Drysdale's number, and he's a big kid, boy.
Here's Lindor. Breaking ball misses. Lindor's 0 for 2. Average has dropped under 230. Palante's fallen behind each hitter in this inning. Got Nimmo out, but walked Canna. Now 2-0 on Lindor.
Lindor has been fishing for that breaking ball. Now he has not swung, and he's 2-0. He's got to be geared on a fastball here.
Ball 3.
Now, this is what you get with a young pitcher, right? You get a guy who has great stuff, a great arm, but can't always throw the ball where he wants to.
It's been wild high. I shouldn't say wild. He's been up in the strike zone.
I think he likes to pitch up in the strike zone. Certainly not that high.
Ball 4. 4 straight missed from Palante. Back-to-back walks. Pete Alonso due up, and Mike Maddox headed to the mound to talk to this young reliever. Pitching in just his 12th major league game, as Palante will face a dangerous slugger here. With the tying and go-ahead runs on base, a polar bear, you could say.
That last pitch that Palante threw, he aimed it. That's why it wasn't even close. You can never aim the ball if you're a pitcher. You got to let it go.
Talked about Pete's struggles against left-handers, and he was 0 for 2 against Mats, but now against a right-hander, Alonso has done most of his damage this year against right-handed pitching. Batting .294 entering today. Mets won the first game 3-1. This one's been back and forth a bit. Cardinals have a good defensive outfield. Carlson's got a great arm in right. So does Bader in center, and O'Neill a very good arm in left. So base hit doesn't necessarily score count.
He can't get that breaking ball over. Gonna have to come with the cheddar.
He doubled up on Lindor with that curveball to go 2-0. He's not going to do it on Alonso. He should get a fastball to hit here.
Yep. Look at those kids. They're into it.
Step off towards second.
You notice that play? That was a preconceived play. You watch Kisner. He dropped his glove. When he dropped his glove, it was when Palante was supposed to spin and throw. Watch the glove. He's supposed to spin and throw now, but he doesn't have that move. So they put on a play that their pitcher doesn't know how to run. Ouch.
Back-to-back walks has Palante in some hot water. Behind Alonso, it's 1-0.
Oh boy, he's getting Archie Bell.
He's getting Archie Bell, and also there's no reason when a young pitcher is having a time of it throwing strikes to put on a pickoff play. I mean, you can imagine his brain is full already.
It's Genesis Cabrera, the left-hander. Palante has gotten a 2-0 on each hitter in this inning, 4 in a row.
Yeah, he's getting tight. He goosed that last fastball.
On 2-0, Alonso takes ball 3.
Oh boy.
Young pitcher, loud crowd. And Palante losing control here in the 6th.
What do you think about that, Ron?
Don't get it.
3-0 curveball. Oh, wow.
Well, even more, it's not that it's a curveball. It's that he hasn't thrown one for a strike, and that's what they chose to go with, 3-0.
And a left-hander mustn't be ready, and they can't go out and have a second shot.
Now, keep in mind, too, that Escobar is better as a right-handed hitter than he is as a left-hander. Cabrera, the lefty, in the bullpen. So you run the risk. Do you keep Escobar on his weaker side, or do you go to the pitcher that has more control possibly right now after Palante's walked the bases loaded?
Third base umpire was just asking Palante, is he going to go from the stretch or the windup? Because some guys in the windup, it is the stretch, but now you got the manager.
Oliver Marmol has decided to take Palante out of this game after he has walked the bases loaded. So the Cardinals will turn Escobar around to his better side. He homered right-hander earlier off of Steven Matz, and now he'll face Genesis Cabrera with the bases loaded. This call to the bullpen brought to you by Nissan. Shop NissanUSA.com. Watch WFAN Sports Radio's Drive Time Duo bring their unique take on New York sports. Carton and Roberts, presented by Grubhub, simulcasting live every weekday 4 to 6 p.m. only on SNY. Beautiful night in New York, and Genesis Cabrera enters at a bases-loaded spot.
Cabrera throws awfully hard. His best pitch, though, is his changeup. He can be a little erratic with his control, which sometimes makes him doubly hard to face because he can be all over the place and then throw 3 straight ones on the corner.
Cabrera has had some trouble keeping the ball in the ballpark this year. He's allowed 4 home runs already in just 14 innings. Eduardo Escobar hit one earlier. Cabrera gets the corner. 3 straight walks have loaded the bases. Escobar jammed, pops it up. It's 0-2.
There's the home run back in the 4th. It gave the Mets a 2-1 lead. A little changeup down and away, and that's a good sign that Escobar is coming out.
Second home run. He's had a hit in 3 straight games now. Had 2 hits in the first game of the doubleheader earlier. Infield back, except the third baseman Donovan, even with the bag. Cabrera's ahead 0-2. Bases loaded. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. Escobar punches out on a curve. Big out for Genesis Cabrera. Now 2 down for McNeil.
Well, I said that he had a 96-mile-an-hour fastball and a great changeup. I should have included the 2 great breaking balls that he threw in this at bat.
We showed you that graphic earlier of 2-out hits, 2-out RBIs. The Mets have driven in more 2-out runs than every team except one. And now Jeff McNeil will try to add to that with the bases full and 2 down. McNeil swings at the first pitch and pops it up. Foul ground. Donovan there. He's got it. And the Mets squander a bases loaded chance in the 6th. A strikeout and a foul out keeps it 3-2 in favor of St. Louis. City starters for the rest of the series. We'll see Max Scherzer tomorrow night. Game 3 of this series against Jordan Hicks, Chris Bassett, Dakota Hudson Thursday. And Paul Goldschmidt swinging at the first pitch. Sends one to deep left. Canna sizing it up. Makes the catch in front of the wall. And Goldschmidt retired for the first time in this game. SNY Studios we go. Here's Maria Marino. Oh. Looking like the 2015 championship series again. Kyle Schwarber misplaying that ball off Cano's bat. A strike to Carlson. Carlson 0 for 3. He's flied out in all 3 of his at-bats in this game. Rolls one over to McNeil. Quick throw to first retires Carlson. 2 up, 2 down.
That's probably the highest anxiety play for infielders in the shift, right? That ball that's not hit well, where you have to really charge it.
You have to come and charge it.
Yeah.
Then you got, because you're charging it, you got to worry about the ball hitting the lip of the grass.
Yeah.
Getting a up hop. Medina's got nice little sinking action on his fastball.
He's done a nice job for the Mets since he's gotten his few call-ups here. He's now pitched in 5 scoreless innings. And he'll have a scoreless 7th here as long as Alonso makes the play, which he does. Adonis Medina, 1, 2, 3 innings. Stretch time in New York. 3-2 St. Louis. Citi Field as we reach the bottom of the 7th. Mets trying to sweep a doubleheader for the 3rd time this year. J.D. Davis fouls off the first pitch from Genesis Cabrera. The Mets have gone 6-1 in their doubleheader games this year. They swept the Giants, swept the Braves, and they split their doubleheader in Philadelphia. They won the first game today 3-1, but they're behind 3-2 here in this second game.
Cardinals have left 8 men on base.
Cabrera fields his position.
Oh!
The throw dug out by the 4-time Gold Glover Goldschmidt.
Boy, got the goal over there. Pitchers are funny. Some pitchers have a tough time throwing that first base. He goosed it, RJ. And that's Goldschmidt knows he just got that easy short hop. But nonetheless.
Here's Jankowski. We've seen bunt for base hits, especially against left-handers.
Well, you can see now where Marte on the bereavement list has really put this club overloaded on the left side. The bench is all left-handed. There's no right-hander on the bench. And this is a team that has struggled against left-handers enough already with Marte in there. They really are going to miss his right-handed bat.
On Jankowski. Tomas Nido due up next.
This kid's got a good arm too. He throws hard.
Yeah. Cardinals have some big arms in back end of their bullpen. Gallegos, Ryan Helsley's been throwing fire this year. Three balls and a strike on Jankowski, who is the fastest Met. So if he does reach base here, Mets will have their best speed option as the tie run. Now there's ball 4. Andy Fletcher has been giving that call today, but not that time. Congrats to tonight's City Community Home Runs fan of the game, Helen, who as of now has won a $50 gift card, Mets autograph, and Mets prize pack. Don't forget to receive 25 additional entries by donating $5 or more to No Kid Hungry. Nido, a good double play candidate. Do you think about starting Jankowski?
I think with a left-hander out there, if Jankowski has got him beat on this guy, Cabrera, he's been very good stealing bases.
He's 3 for 3 this year.
It's kind of tough when you're a run down. You certainly don't want to run yourself out of an inning, but I would say no to a right-hander.
Bounce to third. Donovan to second for 1. And a lob throw to first that got away. What happened there with Edman on that return throw to first, but the Mets catch a break. That should have been a double play to end the inning.
It should have been. And I think he just got a bad grip on. He got a terrible grip on the ball. Look at that. Oh, a knuckleball. That'll do it. That's a Gold Glover right there. Not even a Gold Glover or Goldschmidt could prevent that ball from getting by. Wow.
Tommy Edman. I think he yelled fire in the hole when he threw that.
Oh my. This game hard.
They're giving Nido that third base line. Not Nido, excuse me, Nimmo. I get those two confused. They're so similar names. I would not give Nimmo that third base line. We have seen him go right down that line too many times, and particularly off the left-handers.
He's done it often. He did it earlier today even. He doubled in the third against Steven Matz on the ball down the third base line.
It's Goldschmidt telling Cabrera he's going to play behind Nido.
Nimmo fouls it off his foot, and he's hopping around.
He got sawed off there. I think that bat break. I thought I heard a splinter. Nope. I guess he didn't break it. Well, they got tied up in. Oh, off the knee. That hurts.
That wasn't a bat breaking. It was his knee bone getting hit there.
That's a scary spot for a hitter. When Jermaine Dye broke his kneecap on a foul ball.
Here comes the trainer now.
Joe Golia is going to have a look at Brandon here.
It's like, I'm all right, but it's really sore.
Brandon's tough.
Yes, he is. Wyoming tough.
Yes,
There's a difference.
He sure is. Nimmo's played through a lot of pain over the years. Over the mound, tough play for the shortstop. Sosa to first in time. And Nimmo's out to end the inning. So the Mets get a man on but don't score. And Nimmo still hobbling a bit, now hobbling more after running that ball out. So it's still 3-2 Cardinals. Edmundo Sosa handling that one at first. Brandon Nimmo out and hobbling to end the inning. All right, Gary Apple, thank you very much. The Mets have taken Brandon Nimmo out of the game. Luis Guillorme has gone in where Nimmo's spot in the batting order was. Guillorme playing second, so McNeil goes to left. Mark Canha shoots over to right, and Jankowski is in center field. So hopefully Brandon will be okay, but the foul ball off the knee took its toll, and now Tyler O'Neill starts the eighth. First pitch strike from Adonis Medina.
So you're seeing the effects of Marte not being here on the bereavement list.
Marte's grandmother passed away. The Mets said there was some indication that Marte is going to be back on Friday for the start of the series in Colorado.
Well, the one thing you don't need right now with Marte out is an injury to an outfielder.
That's a Nimmo. But it was alarming how he limped off the field.
Nimmo would be a big loss whether Marte's around or not.
Correct.
Breaking ball just missed from Medina on a full count on O'Neill. This is starting to be a time in the year where the Mets are going to have to get through some things. Injuries piling up a bit. O'Neill takes strike three called, so there's the Cardinal record for him. 6 strikeouts in a doubleheader, 3 in each inning.
Good Lord. Wow.
So if you think you had a share of that 5 spot, Keith, you're off the hook.
A day like that would drive you to drink.
Six strikeouts for O'Neill today. Sosa hits it hard off the glove of Lindor. He gathers, he throws too late. And Sosa's on a ball that rattled out of Lindor's glove. A hard line drive. Probably a base hit.
Oh, he had it right in the glove. He just popped out.
It is a base hit for Sosa, so he's on with 1 out. Harrison Bader's 1 for 3, a base hit his last time. If nothing else, Medina's given the bullpen a nice lift here. This is his 3rd inning after Taijuan Walker left the game.
Every time he's come into a game for the Mets, he has lifted the bullpen. Finishing up the game in Arizona, the 2 2/3 in Philadelphia.
For the first chases back Sosa. Most times, Keith, you ever struck out in a doubleheader was 3. That was in a Mets uniform, though, so only twice as a Cardinal. Your most strikeouts in a doubleheader. 2.
3? 2?
2 as a Cardinal, 3 as a Met.
I was getting older.
Jankowski always gets a good jump, makes that catch in the gap in right center. 2 down as Sosa goes back to first. National League Central right now run by the Brewers, team that won their division last year. They got a 3.5 game lead on the Cardinals. Those two teams figure to be in a 2-horse race. The Cubs have gotten off to a slow start. Maybe they can figure things out. Pittsburgh probably feeling fortunate to be where they are.
It's not a very strong division.
And the Reds gave up, I think, in November. Oh, lob to first. Kisner has a base hit and a run scored. Cardinals took the lead with 2 runs in the 5th. They've held it since then, 3-2. This one will get out of play. Mets had a big chance in the bottom of the 6th. Bases loaded thanks to 3 walks. Genesis Cabrera struck out Eduardo Escobar. McNeil fouled out. Huge moment in this game, keeping St. Louis in front. Up the middle, Guillorme with a diving stop, flip to second. They can't get the out. Sosa beats the play. Tremendous effort by Guillorme with a dive. Somehow he flipped it to get it in the neighborhood of the second base bag, but Lindor couldn't beat Sosa there.
That's a fine play, and most importantly, I mean, look at this. That's terrific. Getting the throw. It's just phenomenal. But the most important thing is that if that runner was going to get the first to third, it was first to third and another setup for a run. Prevents the runner from advancing. Nice try by Lindor.
Yeah.
So the Mets will make a pitching change. Lefty Joely Rodriguez coming in to face Tommy Edman as Rodriguez tries to keep it a 1-run game. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by your local Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyOffers.com. By New York Lottery, get out there and play. And by the Jamaica Tourist Board. The weather right now in Jamaica is warm and sunny. Call your travel agent or go to visitjamaica.com to learn more. New pitcher Joely Rodriguez.
He pitched on Sunday, threw 29 pitches in 2 innings with 3 strikeouts. Did give up a run.
Tommy Edman turns around to bat right-handed. Whiffs on a changeup. Edman has turned into such a good ball player. Says he actually models his game after Francisco Lindor. Has to be a switch hitter who can get a high average and hit for power like Lindor did for many years in Cleveland.
.345 hitter against left-handers so far this year.
Well, the Cardinals bet on Edman over a real good ball player in Colton Wong. Let Colton become a free agent. He signed in Milwaukee and gave Edman the second base job, which he has run with.
And Wong's been a good player for the Brewers too. Edman laid off the changeup that time.
If you're a right-handed hitter facing Joely, you have to look for the ball up because he likes that changeup against righties. Anything down is going to disappear.
Ground ball to Lindor. Should get the Mets out of the inning. Close play. Kisner out at second. Lindor underhanded that ball to Guillorme, but just enough on it to get the out. And a big out for Joely Rodriguez. The Cardinals leave 2. They've stranded 10 in this game, and it's still 3-2 Cardinals. Geico Sports Night tonight after postgame. Mets Cardinals doubleheader recap. We'll get you ready for the Eastern Conference semi between the Rangers and the Carolina Hurricanes. NBA Draft Lottery tonight. Knicks had some balls bouncing in there tonight as Ryan Helsley is the new pitcher for St. Louis, and this guy has been filthy.
He has gotten off to one of the best starts. You see those 21 strikeouts, 13 in his last 5 appearances. He throws 100+, and he's got a knuckle curve that'll buckle you. A knuckle that'll buckle.
Mark Canha will lead off against Helsley. Canha's homered and walked tonight. Lindor and Alonso due up. First pitch misses from Helsley, who has walked only one hitter while striking out 21. He has been a fantastic eighth inning option to get the game to Giovanni Gallegos in the ninth.
Well, it's interesting. He's going through the heart of the Mets order here in the eighth.
This is low, ball 2. He's thrown 36 pitches, 100 or faster. Got one up to 103 against the Diamondbacks earlier this year. Caught the inside corner there for a strike.
And no gripe from Canna. A little bit of acting there, trying to get a third. Ball 3, trying to find a way to get on base. And got the corner.
Canna with a drive, right center. Harrison Bader backpedaling has it. Canna hit it hard, but Bader able to track it down, and the first out here in the eighth. So now one hit allowed by Helsley against the 37 batters that he has faced. Francisco Lindor, the batter. This game has been 3-2 since the 5th.
Looks like he's still holding the hand grenade, Ronnie.
Yeah,
He's choking the life out of that ball. 2 balls, no strikes.
Well, he's falling behind 2-0 to a second hitter in this inning. It's like a shot put.
There's a strike, 99 at the bottom. Lindor walked his last time. Those 3 straight walks loaded the bases in the 6th. Mets didn't score. They haven't scored since Escobar's homer in the 4th. Triple digits that time, but ball 3. Swing is popped towards shallow left, and it falls in. A foul ball, but O'Neill and Donovan unable to make the play, and a fresh chance for Lindor.
O'Neill's got to make that play. He's got to call Donovan off.
That's the second time that O'Neill has had a play like that. Like he doesn't want any part of the. That's his ball.
Don't really see him calling for it as he comes in there.
Donovan did what you're supposed to do. He went as far as he could go, but you know, he's trying to catch it over his shoulder.
If he gets called off, he's going to back off. He's going to pull away.
A break for the Mets in that Lindor gets another swing with a full count. Would have been an even bigger break if that ball landed fair. Lindor stays alive. Still 3-2. Mets trying to sweep 2 from the Cardinals today, win both ends of a doubleheader. Need some late offense to get it done. They're certainly capable of it. All 4. Helsley bounced it. And the tying run is on. Pete Alonso due up.
What was that pitch?
It's a spike ball.
Wow.
Just the second walk issued by Helsley this year.
Another meeting at the mound for the Cardinals.
This is only the second time Helsley has pitched since May 6th. They've been giving him a lot of rest in between appearances.
He had an 8-day rest a couple weeks ago.
Pitched May 6th and then May 14th. When the Mets saw him April 27th, he got 3 days off after that.
Now, usually in this situation, home run hitter up, you won't steal a base. But we've seen Lindor try to steal with Pete just once this year. But you can, because of that big breaking ball, try a dirt ball read to get the extra base.
Opponents have been more successful against Kisner than they typically are against Molina. At least they were last year, but so far this year not as much. Kisner's thrown out 3 of 7. And there's that pitch in the dirt, and Lindor throws it first. Kisner got to it quickly.
Cardinal pitchers like to lead off the hitters with breaking stuff,
Yeah.
and they've fallen behind.
And that's with 100-mile-an-hour ability.
Adam Ottavino up in the Mets bullpen. Guessing he would pitch the 9th inning either way here. Mets have only had 3 hits in this game. 2 of them home runs. Alonso chases the fastball. Looks like these hitters look geared up for 100, and 97 gets them off balance a little.
I think just a good placement of that pitch. I think right now the ball away is giving Pete more trouble than the ball in.
And he had a good stretch there, Alonso, of taking those balls to right field.
Precisely. It will set up first and third.
Slider missed for ball 2.
That pitch right there, 5 years from now, might be called a strike by a robotic ump.
Very well could be.
Someone's going to go ballistic.
Mets trying to grind out another comeback on 2-1. Alonso swings and misses on the fastball. It's 2-2.
Oh, that fastball bore in on his hands, down, running in. Good location. Pete under it.
Lindor with good speed at first. Outfield is deep. The infield straight up at double play depth. And there's ball 3, full count. How do you think about sending Lindor?
Can't run him.
I wouldn't run him.
Shouldn't say that. You can run him. I guess we wouldn't run him. I mean, this guy has 21 punch outs, 2 walks.
One of those to Lindor, who's at first. Helsley has thrown 16 pitches, 9 out of the zone.
Buck's been innovative, though. You never know.
It's 3-2. Lindor's running. Alonso pops it foul. Donovan's over, so is Sosa. They won't have a play.
So they ran Lindor.
I like it.
Well, Buck has said in many of our meetings with him this year in his office, you don't want to become predictable in this game.
Yeah, it's great. How about you and I being the conservative ones up here? What's going on?
Yeah, you guys need to live a little.
Hey, you're the one from Massachusetts.
Oh, jeez. Don't go there.
They'll do it again on 3-2. See if Lindor runs again. There he goes. Alonso drives one toward left. O'Neill backs up and has the ball. Lindor goes back. Pete hit it hard, but right to O'Neill. 2 down.
Pete really got on top of that high fastball.
Well, Helsley has been striking out the world. 2 balls hit hard in this inning. Canna and Big Pete.
Canna lined one toward right center that Bader caught up with. Alonso got a good piece of that. Now Escobar. Well, Lazy Mary worked earlier, helped him hit a homer. It was from the right side. Now he bats left-handed against Ryan Helsley. Had a good cut.
There you go. The first time he's gone after someone. First pitch. Good cut by Escobar.
Time is called. Escobar has a base hit in his career against Helsley, just 1 for 2. Alonso had only faced him once and homered off him until this last at bat. He lined out. Lindor's running. Escobar fouls one off toward the left. Lindor getting his sprints in, at least. He's been on the move a few times. Been a 3-2 game since the Cardinals took the lead in the top of the 5th. It's had men on base each of the last 3 innings, loaded the bases in the 6th. They're still down by a run. So 0-2 on Escobar. He strikes out, and a pitch in the dirt. It gets away. Escobar saw it late as he runs to first. Kisner still won't get him. Everybody's safe, and the Mets are still breathing here in the bottom of the 8th.
Oh my goodness. Is that a pass ball? That ball was not in the dirt, was it? Slider. That's a pass ball,
yeah,
RJ.
Yeah, he just missed it. Look, he can't believe that he did not catch it. He looked in his glove for it. Sometimes when you try to pinch that ball back into the strike zone, it goes off the end of the glove and safe at first.
It is a passed ball against Kisner, and a wide open door now for the Mets with Jeff McNeil at the plate.
Their big clutch hitter.
McNeil 0 for 3 in this game, struck out in the 2nd. 2 hits, including an RBI double and a run scored in game 1.
2 first pitch hits in game 1.
First pitch swinging at a vicious cut at a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, but he fouled it off. Outfield pretty shallow, especially O'Neill in left. I'd like to take a crack at Lindor if there is a base hit. Tying run at second. Go ahead run at first. A hard throwing Helsley ahead of McNeil, 0-1. Line drive, base hit into left field. Lindor being waved home. O'Neill's throw to the plate. Not in time. The game is tied. Jeff McNeil drives home Lindor, and it's 3-3 in the 8th.
Fastball away. McNeil goes right with it. Just a little punch. You give him that hole.
Keep giving it to him.
You know, you just and you want to pitch him away. It was Lindor. Forget it. Fastball away. That's on the corner, but McNeil's got it covered. He's on top of the plate. Yep, big hit, big hit.
Two players that have played all day long. Both games of the doubleheader come through.
Kisner's passed ball. A huge opening for the Mets here in the bottom of the 8th to strike with 2 outs. That should have been the 3rd and final out of the inning. Fourth straight game with an RBI for Jeff, including both ends of the doubleheader. And it's all tied now. J.D. Davis with the go-ahead run. Escobar at second. Davis goes after the first pitch and fouls it.
Here's the pass ball. Strike 3, slider. Just a box it and send me a dozen. He boxed it. Inning over. Unearned run.
Surprised here with J.D. Davis power to right center. They're not bunching him there, and Carlson is shallow in right. More apt to go to right off a guy who throws this hard, or right center.
Escobar with decent speed at second on 0-1. Davis takes outside. Ottavino will pitch the 9th. The Mets have come back yet again in the late innings. Not as enormous of a deficit as we've seen them battle through before, but another comeback nonetheless. Now a chance to take the lead with another base hit. Another 2-out hit. Swing and a miss. Davis late fought off the fastball.
Remember, it's not only the pass ball on Kisner, it also was the ball that fell in foul that Lindor hit that would have been an out right in between Donovan and O'Neill.
A good point, Ron. Good. Lindor never should have been on the bag. You're right. 1, 2, 3 inning. Totally forgot about that one. So 2 gifts.
The Mets have taken advantage to this point for 1 run. On 1-2, Davis takes in the dirt. Kisner lost track of it. Escobar thought about third base, but stays put.
He couldn't go there. The ball wasn't far enough away from the catcher, even though he didn't know where it was. You don't want to check this out, this block, off his palm of his hand. We can't find it, but Escobar can't run himself out of the inning.
Medina and Kisner will have the same size palm tonight.
28 pitches for Helsley, most he's thrown in a game this year. He's given up a run for the first time. Breaking ball throws Davis. A curve from Helsley. Buckles him for strike 3, but the Mets tie the game. 2-out hit by McNeil will go to the 9th. It's 3-3. Joely Rodriguez still on to face the left-handed hitting Brendan Donovan to start the 9th. Goldschmidt's on deck, so we should see Ottavino then. All 1 to Donovan, who's been on base 5 times in the 2 games today. Played shortstop in the first game. He's played third in this one in place of Arenado. Change up by Rodriguez, 1-2.
All arms and legs, and
he's a slinger.
Thrown across his body.
Yep.
Well, Howie's mentioned that he feels like Rodriguez looks like Jesse Orosco a little bit.
Oh, that's an interesting call. I got a little mad bum in there in the way he throws across his body, but it's effective.
Donovan stays alive. After the last inning, Andrew Kisner, whose pass ball kept the Mets going.
Yeah,
that'll get you angry.
He's a good player and
cost your team a run, and you feel terrible.
That's right. He's a good player, good catcher. Happens.
Ball 3. By the way, I forgot the 3-batter rule carries over from the last inning. So Rodriguez only faced Edman in the 8th, so he has to face Goldschmidt, who is due up next. He would be the 3rd batter
that's a good point.
Rodriguez faces. Full count.
A little battle here going on.
Brendan Donovan all day has been given good at bats. It's been a tough out.
And Goldschmidt against left-handers, Wayne, this year. 11 for 23. Try a 478 BA on for size.
Not bad, not surprised. There's ball 4. Tough leadoff walk there. Joely Rodriguez loses Brendan Donovan, who's on base for the 6th time in the 2 games today.
That was a heck of an at-bat, and that's going to drive your manager crazy. Now you got to keep your fingers crossed with Goldie.
Goldschmidt with those big numbers against left-handers. 3 hits in this game, 2 RBI doubles. Ball 1 to Goldschmidt. Carlson, a switch hitter, is next. Maybe we'd see Ottavino right at the beginning of this inning, but Buck Showalter elected to stay with Rodriguez. As we see Arenado, who is not in the lineup in this game, getting himself set up. Paul Goldschmidt has long been one of the most underrated stars in this game. Two balls and one strike as Rodriguez falls behind. Goldschmidt was an 8th round pick in 2009. Several All-Star games, 4 Gold Gloves, 3 top 3 MVP finishes. Gets his work done. It's this one off the end of the bat. It hangs for Canna and right. And the first out here in the 9th inning. Rodriguez conquers Goldschmidt for now. Now the switch hitting Carlson due up. Rodriguez has fulfilled his 3 batter requirement now. And Buck is going to stay with the lefty.
Dickerson up left, up next, but he probably would be batted for by Arenado.
.258 hitter so far against lefties.
Runner got a late start and Nido mishandled the ball. Donovan again with his helmet in his eyes. His stolen base attempt pays off, but if Nido catches that cleanly, he would have had a good shot.
Good jump. He's got to get a little downsize in that helmet.
Yeah, get one that fits.
Maybe his hair was longer when he put that helmet on first.
Two balls, no strikes on Carlson. The go-ahead run in scoring position now for the Cardinals, who have stolen 3 bases in this game. Ottavino still getting loose.
He'll be facing that guy, Arenado, at some point.
Gets away.
Oh, no.
Donovan goes to third. And now the Cardinals have the go-ahead run 90 feet from home.
You know what, Ronnie? Rodriguez's ball, it sinks sometimes, it runs. It's hard for a catcher. And this one just kind of ran.
So now the Mets have to bring their infield in. Actually called that a pass ball on Nido.
Yeah, I think that's the right call, but it's
some pass balls are more difficult than others, right?
Yep.
3-0 on Dylan Carlson. There's a strike. Normally tie game at home, you'd see your closer in the top of the 9th inning, but Edwin Diaz worked already today. He finished the first game.
3 times Cardinals have had a runner on third base, less than 2 outs, and haven't gotten them in.
3-1. Inside ball 4. Second walk of the inning. And here comes Nolan Arenado. He's going to pinch hit for Dickerson.
And here comes Ottavino.
Buck Showalter to the top step, waiting for the announcement. Arenado hearing it from the Mets fans.
Buck maybe not going to make that move. No, here he comes.
Has to.
It'll be Adam Ottavino against his former Colorado Rockies teammate and his good friend Nolan Arenado in a big spot. First and third in the 9th, tie game. We'll be back in just a moment. These two guys played together for a long time with the Colorado Rockies. Ottavino in their bullpen, Arenado their third baseman. Now they meet In the Mets-Cardinals game, in a big spot, Arenado off the bench, pinch hitting for Dickerson. First pinch hit appearance for Arenado this year. Just 2 for 10 with a walk in his career as a pinch hitter. Guy who plays every day, not on the bench much. Keith, is this? I'm sure you had a few spots as a pinch hitter here and there over the years.
Right.
When you're a regular player and you get this spot, is it any different of an at bat for you coming off the bench?
Depends on the situation. All you need here is a sacrifice fly minimum. Now I'm curious to see if they're going to pitch around Arenado.
Slider away from Ottavino. Cardinal pinch hitters this year, a combined 1 for 17, but this is the first time for Arenado.
Good cut.
Ottavino says he likes when a right-handed hitter is on his slider because then he feels like he could push the fastball by. First pitch slider, second pitch fastball, and it's 1-1.
Give him the right side of the infield. We've seen Arenado go that way with men on base, much like Goldschmidt.
There's the fastball. And just what Ottavino wants, that slider-ready hitter, and he burns the fastball in there.
Caught guessing.
Yep.
Because of O'Neill's struggles, who's on deck, you have an avenue to get out of this inning. You just have to retire one of the best players in the game. That's all.
National League leader, co-leader in RBIs, Arenado. The count 1-2. High fastball makes it 2-2. Crowd reacting a bit because that was kind of a similar pitch to the one that irritated Arenado in St. Louis. On 2-2. Arenado strikes out on a slider. Big pitch from Ottavino. And a big out for the Mets. 2 down in the 9th.
That might be his best slider all year. Usually it's a sweeper across the plate. This one had action across and down. Perfectly placed. Bye-bye, I guess, from that one fan.
So now Tyler O'Neill, who has struck out 6 times, a Cardinal record for a doubleheader.
Oh, they're chanting Nolan.
That one floated up.
Boy, O'Neill could be a big redeemer at bat here if he delivers. I mean, he's just had a miserable day.
Struck out 3 times in game 1, 3 times in this game. He's been slumping, his average down to 188. Runner goes from first. O'Neill with a check swing bouncer. Escobar's got it. Has trouble throwing it. Not in time. Safe at first. O'Neill as Donovan scores. Carlson goes all the way to third. Escobar couldn't get the ball out of his glove. And St. Louis takes a 4-3 lead with 2 outs in the 9th.
Check swing. How are they going to rule this? A base hit? Because he couldn't get the handle. There was no error. Just couldn't get the handle here. Oh, there it is.
He knew the speed of O'Neill.
Correct. You don't think O'Neill is take a deep breath, a sigh of relief?
Check swing ground ball. Now O'Neill's running a fly toward right center. Canna's over and he's got it to end the inning. But the Cardinals score on a 2-out check swing infield hit. And we'll go to the bottom of the 9th. 4-3 St. Louis. Scherzer on the mound for the Mets. Game 3 of this series against the Cardinals. See if the Mets will have a chance to win each of the first 3 or 2 out of the first 3, depending on how the bottom of the 9th goes. Cardinals got a gift run, an unearned run in the top of the 9th just after the Mets got one in the bottom of the 8th. Now it's in the hands of Giovanni Gallegos.
Well, Gallegos has been pretty good this year. Really, the only game that he wasn't great in was the game that the Mets came back with 5 unanswered runs, 2 out runs in St. Louis, culminating with the Dom Smith infield hit.
That's the only time Gallegos has even been scored upon this year. There's Luis Guillorme. He will bat 3rd in this inning after Brandon Nimmo had to leave this game in the 7th, fouling the ball off the inside of his knee.
Yeah, that got him in a bad spot. And Brandon, for him to leave the game, he had to be hurting.
We'll get an update on Nimmo after the game from Buck Showalter. Right now, the Mets bat in the bottom of the 9th, chasing a run against Gallegos.
They got to play tight with Jankowski. Dom Smith's going to pinch hit.
No bat in the place of Tomas Nido, who's due up next. And then it'll be Guillorme after that. First pitch strike from Gallegos. Mets only have lefties on their bench today. Guillorme they've already used. Smith they're about to use. And we got Mazika and the newcomer Gosuke Kanto. Mets will try to scratch home another 9th inning run or 2.
This game is just, I'm sorry, go ahead, Wayne. Just feels like this game had just been one knockdown dragged out.
Steven Matz gets a no decision for his effort. Worked 5 innings, struck out 7, allowed 2 runs. Two balls and a strike. Cardinal relievers have really been falling behind.
But Gallegos in that inning in St. Louis against the Mets, his control was off that night. But the right-handers have had a tough time out of the bullpen for the Cardinals. Cabrera was spot on.
Cardinal bullpen has walked 5. Strike at the bottom of the zone to make it 2-2 on Jankowski. The Mets this season tied for the major league lead with 21 runs scored in the 9th inning this year. They have the most hits in the major leagues in the 9th inning this season. Some of that came against Gallegos in St. Louis. Bounced right back to the pitcher. And an easy out to start the bottom of the 9th.
You tied him up inside there.
Dominic Smith pinch hitting for Nido in St. Louis. A shot down the first base line. Gallegos was late to cover. And Dominic Smith busting out an infield hit. It scored 2, including McNeil all the way from second. Gave the Mets the lead on April 25th. Nimmo would then homer to make it a 5-2 game, as the Mets had their first raucous 9th inning comeback of the season. Dominic Smith in for Nido here. Smith had a couple hits in the first game of the doubleheader, including a run-scoring double.
Gallegos has got a good breaking ball. Dom Smith had a hit on a breaking ball in game 1. This is the defense. Edman is in right field.
Smith with a line drive down the right field line. It is a foul ball. Just hooked it.
Yep, 5 feet, 6 feet, foul.
Good job by the bat boy or foul ball boy getting over that top turnbuckle.
Guarding the line. Goldschmidt, no doubles. It's nice to see. Left field line, they're giving it right to Big Dom. I want that fastball up here. Oh, it's a curve.
Missed down and in, ball 2. Marcana hoping for a shot here in the bottom of the 9th. Smith, then Guillorme. And possibly Canna. Fouled off on the backdoor slider, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Gallegos took over the closer's role for the Cardinals in the second half last year from Alex Reyes, who's on the injured list this year. Ended up with 14 saves. Did a nice job for the Cardinals last year. It's 2-2. Missed inside for ball 3. Dom trying to find a way on with 1 out in the bottom of the 9th. These 2 teams have grinded through this one. Cardinals have a 1-run lead again. 3-2. In the dirt, ball 4. It's the 6th walk by a Cardinals reliever in this game.
Breaking balls.
Now Guillorme. Steven Matz didn't walk anybody in his 5 innings. Palante walked 3. Cabrera, Helsley, and Gallegos have walked 1 each. Guillorme batting for the first time in this game, hitting .260. Remember, a big strength of Guillorme's is that he puts the ball in play. Infield is at double play depth. Outfield shades toward left. Catches the inside corner. Gallegos gets the fastball over.
Big hole between Goldschmidt and Edman. If he does get that patented Gallegos curveball in the strike zone, that's a ball that you roll over, pull.
Yep, they can't put a shift on. You wouldn't want to with Guillorme anyway, but you got to play double play depth. It opens up that hole.
Guillorme hits one toward right. It falls for a base hit. Smith advances to second as Carlson gets it in. And here we go again. The Mets threatening in the bottom of the 9th. The tying and winning runs are on.
Boy, this team has no quit in it, I'll tell you that. High fastball.
Supposed to be away and down. It was middle and up.
Down the pipe.
The Mets major league leading 35th 9th inning hit this year. Brings up Mark Canha, 300 hitter with runners in scoring position.
Rally caps.
Well, they've worked quite often this season. Now the Mets have the middle of their order due. The tying and winning runs on base.
As Wayne said before, all three outfielders throw exceptional. Dom's the runner at second.
Carl said the best of the bunch in right.
Didn't have to be.
Borderline call. I say it's ball one. And I think I'd be correct.
Canha doesn't mind hitting behind in the count. Doesn't mind 2 strikes. Facing Gallegos with the game on the bases. Canha takes strike 2, almost in the same spot.
That one was a strike.
Francisco Lindor on deck. So 0-2 on Canha. He takes low.
Boy, that's a good take. That ball sunk at the last minute. Canha can grind it out as good as anyone on this team.
His first 2 plate appearances in this game, he saw 17 pitches. He homered off Steven Matz in the first. Count 1-2. Canha takes inside again. Ball 2. Canha's worked the count back to even. Nothing is easy against this Mets ball club, especially in the 9th inning.
Still buddies.
And they do it to Gallegos again. It's 2-2 on Canha. Swing and a tip into the glove of Kisner, strike 3.
Money
Big
pitch.
strikeout.
Yeah, money pitch. Down, away.
Francisco Lindor hitless tonight, but he's walked twice. He's scored a run. First pitch, a big hack. Comes up empty.
He was a little tardy on that one. Big swing.
Trying to end it.
Alonso on deck. He struck out with the bases loaded to end the game on Sunday against Seattle. The Mets suffered a 1-run loss. Lindor trying to come through first with 2 outs.
Again, it looks like Gallegos either wants to change the signs or check the cards. So he wants to use the 5th sign. Kisner's been trying to do all kind of games back there. He's been given the high target on a curveball. He's been given the low target on a fastball up. So he's playing games behind there also.
On the outside corner, Lindor takes strike 2.
That was some serious paint right there. That's knees in black, outside corner.
Nice frame by Kisner there. Just popped that into the strike zone.
A perfect pitch from Gallegos has him a strike away from locking this one down for the Cardinals and making it a doubleheader split. It's 0-2 on Lindor. Good cut, fouled it off. Gallegos came right after him on 0-2.
Why? The thing about pitching is that you work so hard to get ahead so that you can expand, and probably just missed with his location, but that one's right down the middle.
I'll try again on 0-2. This hit could tie the game. Two-strike pitch coming to Lindor. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. The Cardinals earn a doubleheader split. Gallegos strikes out Canna and Lindor with 2 men on to end it. This was a grind 'em out game, and the Cardinals outlasted the Mets 4-3 the final in game 2.
Well, I'll say one thing. The Mets are never out of a game. They fight. You can't win them all. They had their chances. Cardinals gave them some gifts, but they come up short.
Mets left 7 on base. The Cardinals 12 on base, but it was Goldschmidt with a big game in game 2.
Paul Goldschmidt had 3 hits, drove in 2. And Tyler O'Neill check swing single in the top of the 9th. Gave the Cardinals the go-ahead run, and St. Louis earns a split in this doubleheader. 4-3 the final here in the second game. After the Mets won the first one 3-1, Jeff McNeil had a big hit for the Mets in the 8th inning. And Giovanni Gallegos saved it. Gets some redemption after that 5-run outing he had against the Mets earlier this year. And the series tied a game apiece after the Cardinals win this one 4-3 against the Mets. Steven Matz didn't factor in the decision, but he helps the Cardinals get a win in game 2 here at Citi Field. We'll be back in just a moment.